Imagine a world where you could stare into the camera and the world staring back at you while you make 100% in your portfolio. Well, that's exactly what we're going to cover today. And we're going to cover my 3 best performing stocks, my real portfolio results. And if you stick around, we're going to go in for my 4th stock, which is my favorite stock, and you won't be able to imagine what it is. All right, and then if you want to stick around just for a short time after, we'll go over my background, who I am, where I'm from, all that good stuff, so you can just figure out who the hell this guy is that you're following on YouTube and you're going to hit subscribe to, right? Because that's what you're going to do, and I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Let's hop right into that first stock, all right? Elf Beauty. Elf Beauty, we have got 25 shares of Elf Beauty with an average price of $62. I think today it closed a little under 127 today. It's the market value of 3,000. We put about what would that be? We put about 1,600 in that stock. We started purchasing this stock back in, I think it was about February to March. You can see that's where the squiggly lines really start to move right there. And then we had the whole tariff news, Donald Trump wanting to dump the market, right? And so we got down to about negative 367. But guys, we were purchasing this stock the entire time. Like this, all down in that dip. And that's my fault for not already starting this channel and alerting you guys then. But Elf, if we're being honest, where we say we're at 127. I'm not going to say that I'm going to purchase any Elf over 100, but if we go back under 100, I'm going to be buying some more of that stock. All right. So just a couple little updates for Elf. We've got them. They have releasing some new products. My girlfriend was actually telling me about this. So how I discovered this stock or product, even I discovered the product before I did the stock, obviously. But she uses these products, and when I decided to get serious about my portfolio, I started looking for things. I started kind of trying to notice things, and I noticed this stock right here, and it just, that brand name looked very iconic to me. It just looked, I forget, what does that stand for? Eyes, lips, and face? Yeah. So I started looking into this, and I started paying attention. So I actually went and scavenged, ransacked my mom's bathroom. Turns out she owns some Elf. Right. So they did just release some new products, I believe just a few days ago or over the weekend. We've got the Do It All skin tint worth every elfing cent. I did not see that. All right. It says light buildable coverage, hydrating, and brightening ingredients. Mineral SPF 50. Wow. That's nice. Real good. All right. So more about Elf, though, as recent updates. As of lately, I think it was a week and a half ago, they had actually acquired Rode. And I had no idea who that was. I had to text my girlfriend and ask her, like, hey, Rode, like, have you heard of that? And she was like, yeah. I was like, well, Elf bought them. So she was already a shareholder of Elf at that time. She got really excited about that. So this is a more upper end brand here. They purchased this. Elf Beauty announces definitive agreement to acquire Rode in a $1 billion deal. This was on May 28th. There we go. So about 2 weeks ago, right? Yeah, so that would be our stock number 1 for the portfolio. Now, all right, stock number 2. Stock number 2 is Fubu, however you want to pronounce that. We got 455 shares in the account, up about 115%. Yeah, we picked these up for about $1.52. The price now is around, what was the price for $2.30 earlier today? I don't have that up there, guys. Like I said, it's my first channel, so this is my first episode, so we don't have... Oh, there's the last price, $3.20. All right. So a little bit about Fubu. Fubu recently had they had a merger with Disney. So it says here, Fubu merger with the TV streaming services Hulu plus Live TV and Fubu TV. Disney will own about 70% of Fubu, and I think the deal was in the range of continue to operate combined business. Fubu will remain publicly traded company according to Forbes. The deal also includes $145 million. Disney ownership. Fubu shareholders will own 30%. Fubu's existing management team will continue to operate the business. Combined entity will operate under the Fubu name and remain publicly traded. So, yeah, they had recently had that merger, and you could see where that happened. Where we jumped up here, I think that was the high. It was $6.45. Um, to add to that, Fubu has, they had a solid subscriber growth last summer. They gained about 9% year over year in Q3 of 2024, thanks to the sports content, right? I think since then they come down about 2%. And that's because the sports are seasonal, right? So I mean that's something to kind of keep a close eye on, especially with all the new content partnerships and competition heating up lately. But that's our number two stock. Moving on to number three, SoFi Technologies. Now I know you guys have heard of this company in the past, right? The first time I heard about this company, I was working at an elevator manufacturer, and hey Lou, and I had ran into an engineer that he had just started working there, and we're talking about our student loans, like how the heck we were gonna pay for those, and he had actually consolidated his with SoFi Technologies. They do personal loans, banking. Here, I'll move this over. We got personal loans, banking, credit scores, mortgage loans. They do everything a traditional bank does with a little bit more, right? They got, I know you can purchase a little bit of crypto through them. They're now in the whole travel space. I'm not exactly sure what the insurance here is for, but if you've been in the market for, student loans or credit cards or anything, you've probably come across this company here. They're partially a technology company, partially a bank. They're what we call that, like NuFi or something. So we got 185 shares at an average cost of nearly $11. The last closing price, I believe, was a little bit higher than this. When I took these screenshots, it was like middle of the day. We're up about $700 on the position. Open, so about 35% up on that position. Total cost $2,000 with a market value of $2,700. I believe that Fubu is an easy. I believe Fubu is going to be an easy 3x, 3 to 4x over the next 2 to 3 years, right? So I think this is a solid play in the banking space. Something that maybe only a 2 to 3x in the next 2 to 3 years, but I'm thinking 5 years plus. I mean, I plan on holding this stock by the time I hit my 40s, right? So I'm slowly going to be dollar cost averaging this stock constantly, right? Here's a recent chart right here. This is going back to the months was in there. This is right here this is basically all of 2024, and 2025 got started around in here somewhere. So we come into 2025 up around $15 to $16. During that, again, that little sell off, that dump from the Trump dump from tariffs and everything, we picked up some more shares here. I think I had probably about 110 or 115 shares while we were here, and now you can see we have about 185 shares. I still plan on adding that. I know I own this in another portfolio, and my girlfriend owns it in her portfolio. So that is SoFi Technologies. You just keep a lookout for future videos. I'll be talking more about SoFi. I'll be telling you about how I bought more SoFi. Okay. Another thing to cover about SoFi here, though, before we move on, we've got to talk about this. This right here. The most recent purchase was just this past December. Was a $500,000 purchase by who is this guy? He is I don't even know what position a GBU is. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I know presidents and everything. Anyways, this is an insider. This is an insider purchasing $500,000. let's just say he's pretty serious about it. But the main thing I want to point out here is Anthony Noto. And if you don't know, Anthony Noto is the CEO. I like this insiderdashboard.com. It highlights the CEO every time. But Anthony Noto has been loading up on the stock. He loaded up on the stock all, like mid 2024. He bought 200,000 here, another 200,000. So he's got $800,000 purchases right there in just a 2 month span from yeah, that would be from May and June of last year. And if we go back, he was purchasing there again in 2023, 150,000, 300,000, and here's the CFO buying 100,000. He must not be making quite as much as Anthony, but so he was purchasing here. He bought again 217,000. 236,000, 242,000, and nearly a $1 million purchase at $5.53. And this is all the way back in 2023. So he has been loading this up for a couple years now. And here's what you really want to pay attention to is as we go through all these sales right here, it's not Anthony Noto selling. It's not Anthony Noto selling. He hasn't sold a single share yet. I mean, somebody can back check me on that and leave me a comment if I'm wrong here. If you can find some information out there where, oh yeah, he's been selling, let me know. You know, I'm using all the free tools I can get my hands on, right? So that's SoFi Technologies. All right, so now for the big one. I know you guys have been waiting on it. I know you've been wanting to see it. Here's my real portfolio results. We're up $6,337 in the account, 95% gain since September. I highlighted this right here. This was the Trump dump right here. That's what I'm calling it. I was up around 5,600 here, and there was a 67% drawdown on my account, on my profit in there, back all the way back into April, mid-April, and May. All right, and that's why I'd like to say, like, this is why you stick to your convictions. You don't panic sell. We could have panic sold this, and we would have locked in hardly any profit, but we've held strong. Now we have taken 2,700 in realized gains in this portfolio here. Now I haven't sold a single share of SoFi though. That is not what I've been selling. Actually, I haven't sold any shares of any of these stocks we've talked about. So that's the portfolio. The total portfolio is $13,000. I believe that is. I think even after the close today, it was still up that much. So I started this account with 6,500, and so there we go. That is the portfolio results. There's not just much to say about it. I'm just showing the real gains and losses in it, and this is just where we're at. But if there's any stocks that I haven't covered that you think I should, or you think that maybe I should take a look at, leave those in the comment section for me. I mean, you're helping me as much as I'm helping you, and that is everything we can do for each other, right? All right. I had to take a little intermission there. This being my first episode, but it's been a minute, and we're Zenners around here, so I had to take care of that. All right, so if you stuck around this far, you're wondering what that fourth stock is, and we're going to hop into it. This is a bigger position than any of the other three. So here it is. All right, AMD. Sweet AMD. Oh, yeah, I have a long history with this stock. Oh, man. Oh, it's hard to look at some days, but I know she's still going to make me a lot of money. We're up 41% on the stock. I have 21 shares. I actually have 22 shares. I just added another share of that today or Friday. I can't quite remember, but we're up $860 on the position. And I believe that is current. That was at some point as on its rocket to its 8 to 9% gain just today. So yeah. AMD, we were buying this down here in the sub 80s, sub 70s. We bought this from 100 all the way down into this dip, and I've been buying it all the way out the dip. I've even been buying it up here in the 18. I haven't bought it over 120 yet, so that means I would have bought it Friday. So a little bit about AMD. Why would we be purchasing AMD? The advanced money destroyer, they call it. That's what they call it. I think it's going to be the advanced money depositor real soon. So we're going to look over AMD's. So if you didn't know it, if you're following AMD, then you already know all this. But AMD had just released its MI350, and they're looking to launch this in 2026. It just says in 2026. We don't know if that's in the middle, in the end, at the beginning. We don't know. I don't know. If you know, leave it in the comments, man. I could use it. So a little bit about the chip. AMD Instinct MI400 features a 2 times more AI compute than the MI350 that they just released. This is what they just released. 50% more memory and almost 2.5 times the bandwidth with the HBM4. So basically 10 times faster than the MI350. How do they know these things? I don't know how they know these things. I guess they just know what they want to design, right? And they know I got an idea of what they're aiming for. But that is it, guys. They are looking. I see some tubers out there where they're saying that they're not. They can't compete with Nvidia, but rest assured, that is exactly what they're aiming to do. So I don't know why you'd say that they're not gonna reach some sort of limelight as Nvidia has. And I think right now I'll be dollar cost averaging this stock. I did not expect a 9% jump. Did anybody see why it jumped up that high today? I didn't. I was working on getting these slides together and getting this first video together for you guys, and so I don't know exactly why it jumped up. I think I do. One of the analysts, those lovely Wall Street analysts that we love so much, raised the price target on it, and I guess that was a reason for everybody to come flocking to the stock. So I don't know. I guess it's crazy because I remember like 5-6 years ago, like when you could see an analyst raise a price target and the price of the stock drop, right? But that's our AMD. That is our fourth stock. All right, so a little bit about me. I live here in Mississippi. I graduated high school and college here in Mississippi. Fun fact, I actually graduated with a class of 25, or at least I think it was 25. If I can count that high. But yeah, so to say the least, the odds were stacked against me to be a stock picker or to get involved in this space. I'm just a simple Joe trying to help some other simple Joes get involved with investing. Again, thank you all for tagging along in this first video. And if you hit the subscribe button, sincerely, thank you. And there'll be another video coming soon. And I'll leave you with this. Life's a garden, man. You just got to keep digging. In our case, keep buying. Peace out, guys.